welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to each and every one of you, because what a feeling right now, what a time it is to be a Barca fan. What a week we've had! 4-1 against Bayern, 4-0 against Real Madrid on Saturday, and today we've got to talk about how it happened. We have to talk about Hansi Flick's magic, his genius to not only dismantle Real Madrid, but to absolutely rattle Carlo Ancelotti. He did not know what to do on the touchline. A man who's usually so calm didn't know where to turn. And today we're going to be talking about all the tactics that we saw, and also, guys, as well, one hidden piece of magic with regards to Flick's style of play that I haven't actually seen spoken about all that much so far. So all of that is on the way. The good vibes continue, so let's do it. Because today's very special video comes to you courtesy of SofaScore, which not only really helps the channel with every single download of the app using the link in the description below, but not only that, it also means you can do this. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter how you're feeling, at any given moment, you can scroll through Barca's recent results. You can look deeper into these performances, and I guarantee you, you'll have a smile on your face. No matter what happens in your day, that will brighten it up every single time. And actually, guys, if you went on the SofaScore app and looked at Real Madrid's results, you'd see that they were on a 42-match unbeaten run in La Liga. Oh, that was until last night, though, because it was then at the Santiago Bernabeu that Barca took it upon themselves to light that streak on fire and lob it over their goalkeeper. But let's start by talking about that Hansi Flick high line. And can I just begin by saying there were so many pundits, so many commentators, so many media outlets before this game who said the high line against Real Madrid, that won't work. Hansi Flick, he must change. He can't go there and play like that. He can't play with that high line. It's naive. It's stupid. It's not the way to play it. Oh, really? What are you saying now? Because let me just say, who did they think they were anyway, telling Hansi Flick to change his style of play? He is never ever gonna do that. He has his style, he has his principles, he has his philosophy, and no matter what the game, no matter who we're playing, he will not change. Because just think about it, guys. Every day since he arrived at this club, we've been drilling this system in training. We've been working on the high line. We've been working about how to organise with the ball, without the ball. Can you imagine, just because here of calls that, oh, you can't do that against Real Madrid, imagine shredding all of that work, shredding all of that preparation, and changing the style for this one game? It would have been idiotic. We've seen it done in the past. We've seen it done here at Barca, whereby we've had great games, we've had great performances, we've shown good signs, but then when it came to the biggest matches, we played within ourselves. We went into our shell. Hansi Flick did not allow that last night. He was brave, and as a result of his bravery, his players went out there and they matched it. Because obviously, guys, when you are talking about that high line and how effective it was actually against Real Madrid, even despite all of their pace, all of their dangerous players, the offsides, they were absolutely off the scale. Kylian Mbappe last night, I bet he went to bed and had nightmares about that Barca defensive line. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to time his runs. He didn't know where to make those runs in behind. He had 8 offsides in one game. Never in his career has he had that many. And it was a simply emphatic way of stopping Real Madrid's attacking threat. Because let me just say, this was not luck. I hear a lot of people, again, in the media, commentators, these people saying, oh, Barca, they were lucky with offsides. That is nonsense. This is not about luck. It's not about here just catching somebody off and hoping for the best. This is by design. This is what we work on every single day, like I say. And look at the stats. We have had literally double the amount of offsides drawn than any other team in the world. This is not luck. This is design. This is hard work. And this is preparation. So please, don't do us the disservice. Don't insult us by saying that this just happens. You will see with Real Madrid's defending in a minute, this kind of stuff it doesn't happen by accident. Because let me also address another thing as well that we're hearing in the media right now. Lots of people claiming the first half, Real Madrid dominated. Real Madrid was so much better than Barca again. Barca were very lucky to go in at half-time at 0-0. Can I show you here the stats from that first half? Because as we spoke about after the game late last night, a lot of the situations in that first half, they appeared more dangerous than they actually were, because the play goes on and then later the flag goes up. Because when you look at what actually counted in this game, in that first half, Real Madrid did nothing. Real Madrid created absolutely nothing. They had one single shot that counted, none of them on target. In terms of expected goals there, we had the better opportunities. We had more possession. We had more shots. It doesn't matter which metric you want to look at. Barca there were very much in this game. The only difference was Real Madrid didn't actually seem to know it. But that's the thing here, and that is one of the big benefits of this high line from Hansi Flick, because yes, Real Madrid in that first half especially, they were always looking to exploit this space right here, and you have to get your pressure on the ball absolutely right. You can't give them time and space to pick passes, but that is also why Iñaki Peña, Flick mentioned it after the game yesterday, his starting position, it was so essential to the game plan there. There was such a lot of space for Real Madrid to operate in, but with Iñaki Peña being so brave, being so aggressive there in that starting position, it just put doubt in their mind. Every time that ball was looking to be played over the top, every time they're trying to measure the pass, they're also trying to take into account, where's Iñaki Peña going to be? And in the end, they actually started getting distracted by shooting. We saw lots of long-range efforts there, which, of course, are much lower risk than anything played over the top and when you're in behind in a one-on-one, for example. But that is the thing right now, because at some point, the belief with Barca is, okay, you can come forward, you can try and put pressure on us, but at some point, we will turn that ball over. And then it's about, once you do turn it over, a lot of the time then Real Madrid have committed players, they may be slightly out of position, slightly out of shape, not expecting that turnover to come. And then when you do, because of that high line, you are so advanced already in the field. It doesn't take you 5 or 6 passes to work your way forward. You're already here. So it's a case then of winning that ball back, looking at the runners ahead of you, and then it could be one pass. And that is the threat that Barca always carry under Hansi Flick. And that is why it feels so much easier to score goals right here. Remember in previous seasons, it seemed as though everything had to be perfect. We had to play the perfect, beautiful football, beautiful move to actually make our way to the box. Now, because teams are coming forward, because they're actually being more expansive against us, they're leaving more spaces, they're not expecting the turnover to come, and when it does, we are in the perfect position to make one of these balls, or the diagonal, of course, to Raphinha. We've always got runners, we've always got energy, and Barca are ready at any moment. But if we do here, look at that second half and how it changed, especially with the introduction of this man right here, Frenkie de Jong, because obviously he came on there to bolster our midfield alongside Marc Casado, actually at times a little bit more withdrawn than him. You saw that there in the first goal. Pedri here was in this advanced position, and it was really interesting to see again how Barca operated in these central areas, playing between the lines of Real Madrid's defensive line and their midfield line, because it wasn't just about Pedri in that number 10 role, but it was also about Raphinha. There was a trio of players here that was certainly playing in all of this space, and Real Madrid hated it. Real Madrid in this game, they couldn't get to grips with these players in central areas, and that is why you actually see, when you're looking at the first goal, again, it's one pass, it's one penetrating ball from Marc Casado, but the centre-backs here, they are so distracted, they are so concerned about Raphinha, about Pedri in these areas, Casado playing balls in here, that they actually step up. They try and play very tight there to those advanced midfield players. What happens then? Robert Lewandowski, he just slips off the back of them. He just slips in behind. Then you've got Lucas Vázquez, who plays everybody onside. Yes, the centre-backs step up, but hey, that's what I mean. If your back line is not drilled, if it's not organised, if you are not absolutely crystal clear of the game plan, suddenly then, the offside trap's not so easy, is it? Suddenly then, we're not talking about luck. That's by design. Lewandowski times his run absolutely beautifully, and the finish past Lunin from this kind of area here, it wasn't as easy as he made it look. It was an absolutely ice-cold finish from Lewandowski that all started with a great ball from Casado. It's about the attacking midfielders here really gaining Real Madrid's attention, and the arrival of Frenkie de Jong, which just bolstered that midfield. But it didn't stop there either, especially when it comes to those advanced midfield players, because again, you're talking about the influence of Raphinha here, the intelligence that he's had, and how good, absolutely wonderful he is under Hansi Flick, guys, honestly, because in this central area, again, they can't contain him. So what you actually saw from Real Madrid then, because of Raphinha coming inside, because then of the threat of Pedri in there as well, with Lewandowski, who was also getting involved too, you've got to say, Real Madrid then felt as though, okay, we've got to go really, really narrow. You saw their fullbacks very, very compact. They're trying desperately to support the midfield. You had Jude Bellingham, who last season, don't forget, was getting forward for Real Madrid, scoring goals. He was playing here almost as a right wing back. Now look, that's what it's like to abandon your principles. You've got players here, attacking players, who are actually doing defensive roles because we didn't back down. We did not alter our style. We made Real Madrid change for us. And what that actually meant then, with those fullbacks really tucking in, was Balde had an absolute field day down that left side there. Constantly throughout the game, we were really playing him in, and he did some excellent defensive work as well. Bellingham wasn't able to live with him, obviously. Balde much had the better of him. Vasquez really was in no man's land all the game. He didn't really help much in the field. He didn't really help much out wide. And what you saw then, of course, for that second goal, well, it was obvious. Balde constantly getting in here. Robert Lewandowski in the box. We lifted over. He's in between the centre-backs. And again, what an absolutely stunning header. So all of this here, it comes from these advanced midfielders. Real Madrid trying to work out ways to deal with them, restructuring their whole back line to try and live with them. And as always at Barca this season, we're very, very clever at just picking up where those pockets of space are. It might not be the same player every game. You know, sometimes it might be Raphinha. Sometimes it might be Lamine Yamal operating in those pockets. This time it was Balde all down this left-hand side. We're very clever at picking out that free man, using them to the fullest. And as you saw here, we got our rewards. However, guys, can I just make an observation? Because what happened when we went 2-0 up at the Santiago Bernabeu? And just bear in mind, this is only days after Dortmund just did it in the Champions League. At half-time, they were 2-0 up. They were absolutely cruising in the game. But what happened to them? They decided then, we've got to sit back. We're not quite comfortable. We don't quite feel brave enough to fully go for this win. Once they did that, it was game over. Barca, on the other hand, because of this Flick mentality, because here of the fact that we came here, we set up in our way, doing what we knew with our game plan, we were comfortable. We were so secure, full of belief here. We had real confidence in what we were doing, and what that meant was there was no looking back. There was no tendency to sit back and absorb pressure. We were never, ever gonna do that under Hansi Flick. That is just something that he wouldn't even allow that thought to enter his players' minds at any moment. Like I say, that comes from the coach. That comes from having bravery coming into this game, and it gives the players confidence to see it through right the way until the end, guys. But what I would actually like to say here about the high line, about the way that we play under Hansi Flick, not only, I think it's refreshing for football. That's what I personally believe here, that he is actually bringing a brand of football back into the game that we don't see all that much anymore, especially in big games, guys. Look at the way that we played yesterday. We took a lot of risks. We really tried to make things happen. We gave our players a lot of freedom. You don't really see that anymore. It's a really exciting, expansive style of play that deserves praise from everybody, and that's why I don't understand here why the media want to say it's down to luck. They want to write off these Barca wins. They don't want to give us the credit that, honestly, Hansi Flick and his team deserve. I don't know why. Probably because our name is Barca and everybody is concerned by that. But this is the thing that I want to say about the high line. This is what I want to say about Hansi Flick's style of play. I truly believe here, looking at this Real Madrid game, looking at the Bayern game, looking at every team we played this season, the high line, what it actually does is it gives teams a false sense of security. You watched that game yesterday, and I believe Real Madrid think they're doing well. I believe that in that first half, Real Madrid are going into half-time thinking, we've got them where we want them. We are on top in this game. We are really causing Barca problems. And suddenly then, they're thinking, we can win this. We are very, very comfortable. No, they're not. No, you are not. And what we are seeing time and time again with Flick's team is that within the space of minutes, you go from being in the game, you go from actually believing that you're actually going to come out on top, to suddenly You are done. You are absolutely done. 2 goals there in the space of 10 minutes at the start of the second half. And Real Madrid, they're shell-shocked. They cannot believe what is happening because they thought they were in the ascendancy. They thought they were in such a great position. And the High Line is giving teams hope. And Hansi Flick's Barça is snatching it away. And just look at this photo. Look at the sheer contrast between the two teams here. We are one. And this is what it means. Because when we are together at Barça in terms of the fan base, the club, the board, the coach, the players, when everybody is pulling together in the same direction on this path, let me tell you now, we are unstoppable. And Hansi Flick's Barça won't stop. It will never stop. It is a relentless machine right now, unrelenting in its pursuit of greatness. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Hansi Flick, to FC Barcelona, to every single player. Thank you for making this one of the best weeks of our lives. And what a week it's been. And I also want to say a huge, huge thank you to each and every one of you too, because you have been here every video, every day, every game with me. We've been waiting for this. We have been hoping, praying. We've been desperately, desperately wanting it. And now we're getting it. And we're not done yet, guys. Make no mistake about that. I still believe this is only the beginning of this team. This is only the start of something truly, truly special. Thank you so much for all of your super thanks donations. I've got so many coming in. I will get through them all. I will certainly make sure every single one is displayed. So thank you to all of you guys for that. And I will see you soon. Make no mistake about that. We will be back to talk more about this beautiful team. Enjoy the win, guys. Enjoy your day. But until next time, as always, Vejka, Real Barça.